So very good morning students, again welcome back the first year physics. So in the previous class, so we finished about some example problems related to the method to locate the center of masses. In that we also discussed the problems, and here there is one integration method is there. This is the important method, so that I will tell you the integration method. There is one problem is given like this for the integration method, so that you take the integration method of problem. The given question is the linear density of a rod of length is L. The linear density of a rod of length, there is a rod is given, the length will be L, and for that linear density lambda is equal to kx square by L. Kx square by L, that is it is on the x axis, no, that's what your linear density kx square by capital L, it is given as capital L it is. Okay, where k is a constant and x is the distance of any point from one end, then find a distance of center of mass from the end at x is equal to 0. From x is equal to 0 to end is asking position of center of mass. So if the rod is given, therefore the rod, here we should divide into small strips. You take a one small strip, that's what, that strip mass is, you say dm, because total mass of the rod is capital M. Now you divide into small strips. See here one strip, it is a dm. You want to take another strip also, no problem. Yes, you take like this another strip. If I go like this, if it divided into number of strips, in that one strip you take any one strip. One strip of mass is dm and its thickness is dx. And for this also we have to write the linear density. Density is nothing but a mass per length. So mass of the strip and length of the strip, so that lambda is equal to dm by dx. From here you write dm is equal to lambda into dx. What is lambda? Just you suppose to write here kx square by capital L into dx. So this is the dm, but by the method of integration, where will be the center of mass position, that we have to find. So that the method of integration, that is the xcm is equal to, there is a formula, integral dm into x square by total mass of the rod. See, there is a position is given, x1 is equal to 0 to x2 is equal to x till end of the rod is asking, no. So that the till end of the rod you take like this, xcm is equal to 1 by m, you take a common, from x1 is equal to 0 to x2 is equal to x dm into x square here. So xcm is equal to 1 by capital M, here 0 to directly you take x, dm we know, what is dm is kx square by L into dx, kx square by L into dx into x square, that's all. Okay, I think it is dm into x, no, yes, dm into x, not x square it is, the formula will be dm into x square. So xcm is equal to 1 by capital M. In this you take a common, k by L is common because it is a constant, no? X into x, I mean x square into x, because here x square is there, here 1 is there, so it is becomes x cube from 0 to x into dx. Now we should apply integration method here, because here we should get that dm also we should take as of course here we should take a capital M here, dm, no, yes, here also you take a dm it is, right, here I will tell you. So better you take like this, because the mass is dm, no, so that here you write xcm is equal to integral dm will be, that you write kx square by L into dx into x by, here again dm is there, no, the dm you write will be same, kx square by L into dx. So xcm is equal to, it is k by L is common, in above that x square into x cube, because x into x dx, by here also you take a common, and x square into dx. Of course this will be cancelled. Now you apply integration method, then get an answer, final answer, right. Look at here, you take xcm will be equal to, it is from 0 to x cube dx, from again 0 to x square into dx. So there is a method of integration, x power n dx, then we'll get x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. It is a formula for integration. So instead of n, here is the cube is there, therefore you write directly xcm position is equal to, here it is integration method, x n is, instead of n here 3 is there, no, 4 by 4 from 0 to x Here also 2 is there, no, x cube by 3 from 0 to x. Clear? This is will be given like this. Okay, now let us you substitute the values and do it the final calculation. That is x you substitute first, therefore 4 x power 4 minus 0 barrier by 3 x cube minus 0. Therefore the final answer will be in terms of x, that is xcm is equal to, it is 3 by 4 x to the power 4 by x cube. So that cancel, xcm is equal to 3x by 4, but x is nothing but a total length of the rod, no, that x is equal to, you say capital X is equal to L. So xcm is equal to 3L by 4. The position of center of mass will be from the origin is, by using a method of integration, we'll get the 3L by 4. We'll get the 3L by 4 by using a method of integration. Like this we have the method to locate the center of masses. Examples, these are the examples. Okay, so this is about a center of mass and related example problems are finished. Clear? Okay, now so this is about a center of mass. So actually the chapter name is, it is a system of particles and rotational motion. So the system of particles is over, that is center of mass is completed. So second part, we'll move to the second part. The second part is will be rotational motion. Rotational motion, because system of particle is completed. In this rotational motion, once I recall you all definitions which are we know already. In circular motion I told you the definitions related to the circular motion, because rotational motion, it is a new topic, or in this second part rotational motion. So the rotational motion is nothing but some part it is related to the circular motion. Already in a circular motion we know the statements. See the circular motion, we know uniform circular motion. Once you refer the motion in a plane chapter, in that motion in a plane chapter we completed the circular motion. Some definitions, important definitions are there. Once again I will recall the all definitions, because also important now, because in this rotational motion again we will discuss all the statements are required. Here in case of a rotational motion or in case of a circular motion, see we have some new quantities, that is angular displacement is one more is angular velocity is one, angular acceleration is one, like angular momentum, like a torque, and etc. we have new quantities. These are new because in case of a circular motion we know straight line. What are the straight line? Velocity, displacement, acceleration, and etc. But now we are discussing about a rotational motion, no, rotatory motion. In this rotatory motion there are some new quantities are introduced. That quantities are, we can say first one about a angular displacement is theta. I will tell you one quantity, angular displacement. Right, we know displacement in linear, here it is indicated at theta. Suppose the particle revolving in a circular orbit, see like it is revolving in a circular orbit, see the radius of the circle is r. If the particle is moved from P to Q, once you check also no problem, same definitions again I am repeating you. So that the particle is moved from P to Q, it is angle subtended by the radius vector. The angle subtended by the radius vector with the center is nothing but a angular displacement. That's what here we can also write, angular displacement theta is equal to arc length by radius, because again here it is required, theta is equal to arc length is nothing but a PQ by radius is nothing but a r. This is the angular displacement. Displacement also we know in the linear. In case of this angular is nothing but a rotatory motion, angular displacement, or we can also write d theta also, no problem, right. Therefore here it is the generally arc length by arc length no cancel, so that here it is the no dimensional formula, no DMF, whereas the units are, we can say radian, or you remember, then 1 radian is equal to, we can say like this, it is pi by or 180 by 3.14. If you take this, it is approximately 57.17. 1 radian is equal to, suppose it is a conversion from radian to degree, right, conversion from radian to degree. Sometimes he may ask you degree to radian, Here we should take like this. Here is asking degree to radian, no. Therefore, here you write a 1 degree is equal to, we can take like this, 3.14 divided by 180. It is approximately 0.017 radian it is. 1 degree is equal to. In terms of radian is asking, then you take like this. And therefore, the particle is completing a 1 rotation suppose. Because this all very important right away. If the particle completes 1 rotation, if 1 rotation is finished, nothing but a theta is equal to, we can say 2 pi n. Sir, what is n? N is nothing but a small n. It's nothing but a number of rotations per minute or per second. Per second, number of rotations per second. So small n, theta is nothing but a 2 pi is nothing but a rotation. For completion of 1 rotation, it takes a 2 pi. 2 pi in the sense is 360. This is the circle represented as 360. So that if it is completes a 1 rotation, theta is equal to 2 pi. Directly we can also take 2 pi, because for 1 rotation, we can take it like this. Theta is equal to, if 1 rotation, 2 pi. Suppose if it is completing n number rotations per second. This is about a angular displacement. Once refer there. This is the, in case of a angular displacement relation definition. Now I'll move to angular velocity. Because here in this chapter, these all are very important. Angular velocity is nothing but it is a axial vector. It's not a vector, it's not a, I mean to say scalar. It is an axial, nothing but the direction of angular velocity we can determine by using a right hand thumb rule or by using a right hand screw rule. Direction of angular velocity. Sir, what is angular velocity? First of all, I will tell you linear velocity. It is the rate of change of displacement. Or you remember this? Linear velocity it is. What about angular velocity? Very simple. Angular velocity is nothing but it is the rate of change of angular displacement, or we can also write theta by t like this. So theta is equal to omega into t, we can. Clear? It is a angular velocity. Sir, what about units? Units is radians per second. And what about dimensional formula? DMF. Yes, you take a DMF is t power minus 1. T power minus 1. So that omega is equal to, if a particle completes a n number rotations, it is, or else you say it is a capital N by t. Yes, we can. Capital N is nothing but a number of rotation. Theta is nothing but a 2 pi n by theta, no? So we can also write like this. So capital N by, here it is. Capital N is, omega is nothing but a 2 pi small n. Small n. Sometimes he may give you RPS, rotations per second. Sometimes he may give you RPM, rotations per minute. So it is depend on the situation. We should find a omega value. Based on that also we have problems right away in this chapter. Omega will be rotations per minute. Sometimes he may give you RPS or RPM. So that by using RPS or RPM, here you substitute and get a value of omega. So that we can say omega theta is equal to, it is will be like this. Right? If here also we can also call angular velocity, we can also call angular frequency. Angular frequency, because omega is equal to, it is, if theta is you say it is according to the dimensional formula, we can say it is a 1 by t, no, because theta is node units. So that it is, we can also call angular frequency, because 1 by time period is nothing but a frequency. It is which frequency now? Angular frequency. Which frequency? It is related to the angular frequency. Okay, about a angular velocity. And here angular velocity, the direction we can determine by using a right hand screw rule or by using a right hand thumb rule, because there is a thumb rule will be like this. If you take a rod and you put in your hand in a right hand like this, I will show you the diagram. We can determine angular velocity by using a like this. See, here is the folded fingers. These are the fingers to be folded like this, and there will be a finger it is. So this is indicates the angular velocity direction. Thumb indicates the right hand thumb rule it is. Suppose I want to tell you about a related to the right hand screw rule. You take a one screw and which is to be nailed like this, right? That's tip is gives the direction, or head is gives the direction of angular velocity. That's what we can call axial vector it is. It is we can call as axial vector. It's not a vector, it's not a scalar. but the direction we can find by using a right hand thumb rule or a right hand screw rule, right? It is about a angular velocity, and the angular velocity also we did the problems on the basis of angular velocity, like our Heinz clock. Are you remember Heinz clock? In this Heinz clock there are 3 pointers are there. One point is minutes hand, one more point is seconds hand, and one more point is minutes hand. So by using that we already discussed the problem on the basis of angular velocity, like hours hand, Heinz clock. Now right away not required, you refer there it is. Now let us will go for the next one. Angular velocity, angular acceleration, you say angular acceleration. Sir, what is angular acceleration? Alpha. So alpha is nothing but it is defined as, before that I'll tell you linear acceleration. A is equal to, we can say like this, it is about a dv by dt, that is we can also say v by t it is. So A is equal to, we can also say v minus u by t. Are you remember this? Motion in a straight line or motion in a plane. Now I would like to tell you angular acceleration. Instead of v, just you write angular velocity, that's all. Yes it is, right? And here we can also write is omega 2 minus omega 1 by t. Therefore alpha t is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1. Omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t it is. It is the equation of motion in rotatory motion. It is equation of motion in a straight line. V is equal to u plus at. This is the comparison between these two. Omega 2 is the final angular velocity. Omega 1 is the initial acceleration, angular initial velocity, final velocity, initial velocity, A is the acceleration. Okay. So these are what it is related to the angular acceleration, as well as the units, of course, radians per second square. Here we can write a meter per second square, compare this, that's it. Dimensional formula will be DMF will be, it is t power minus 2. So like this we have the statements related to the rotatory motion, or we can say circular motion. So which we have, it is very important statements, and you refer in the previous chapter circular motion once you go through there. Not only that, let I told you also some comparison also. V is equal to u plus at, it is in linear. What about angular? Omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t it is, right? Omega t like this. Suppose if I tell you v square minus u square is equal to 2as, then it is what happens, it is you take a omega 2 square minus omega 1 square is equal to 2 alpha theta. S is nothing but a theta here, and here S is equal to ut plus half at square here. So here you write theta is equal to omega t plus 1 by 2 alpha t square. So these are the comparison between linear expressions and rotational expressions. Not only this, at the same time I also discussed and I also told you related to the centripetal acceleration, as well as the centripetal force, centripetal force, centripetal acceleration, centrifugal force. So that here centripetal and centripetal force and centripetal acceleration also once I will repeat you, because already is there in your notes. Once you see that, once you refer today, read that all statements and you do the practice also, because in this chapter that all very important. So here centripetal acceleration is nothing but if a particle revolving in the circular orbit, therefore there is a linear acceleration is acting towards the radius vector along the towards the center along the radius vector is nothing but a centripetal acceleration. AC is nothing but a centripetal acceleration. There are some formulas. AC is equal to v square by r, and there is a one more relation is there before that, relation between v and omega. I will tell you that first, because it is also very important. Before centripetal acceleration, if the particle at a position p, therefore it is displaced from p to q, because it is for 4 marks question, the relation between v and omega. See, this is there already in your notes. For 4 marks it is, v is the linear and omega. So that angle subtended by the particle theta when it is moved from p to q in the angular displacement like this. So angular displacement theta is equal to arc length by radius. So pq is equal to, we can say, theta into r, equation 1. or else you keep like that also, no problem. And here linear velocity v is nothing but a displacement by time. You say dt it is. Sir, what is the displacement? You draw a line, straight line, it is also represented as a pq, because the shortest distance, no, or shortest displacement, pq by dt it is. Here v d pq is equal to, it is a v into dt we can write. Suppose if you equal this question 2 and 1 and 2 equal it, so that v into dt is equal to d theta into r. So v is equal to d theta by dt into r. So d theta by dt is nothing but a angular velocity. So there is a relation v is equal to r omega, which is very very important. On this basis also we did one problem in that circular motion, in a motion in a plane. That's what you refer everyone, these all questions. Sir, why you are repeating? Because again it is there here. So that once you go through this all, it is very help you in this case, right? Now let us, I want to tell you about a centripetal acceleration and centripetal force and centrifugal force. Then after I will finish it this, because it is enough. You read and practice it, then it is definitely one question you will get the final examination. So here, what is centripetal acceleration? It's nothing but you say the linear acceleration which is acting along the radius vector. See, along the radius vector towards a center is nothing but a centripetal acceleration. It is v square by r, equation 1. It is acting along the radius vector. So we know v is equal to r omega, no? So that here you write AC is equal to r square omega square by r. So AC also all we can call like this. Not only that, from here you write r is equal to v by omega. Suppose here you write, we'll get the another expression in terms of like this. It is v omega. These all centripetal accelerations. Now centripetal acceleration, after that we have a centripetal force. Sir, what is centripetal force? Fc it is. M into AC, nothing but the force which acting towards the radius or towards the center. The force which is acting towards the radius, towards the center along the radius vector is nothing but the force we can call centripetal force. So that Fc is equal to, you write here, M into AC, v square by r, one expression, and second M into AC, r omega square, one expression, and Fc is equal to M into AC, v omega. These are all represented as the centripetal forces. Centripetal force is nothing but the force which acts along the radius vector towards the center is nothing but a centripetal force. And there is a centrifugal also is there. Centrifugal is nothing but which act. Actually, centrifugal is nothing but which act away from the center. It is a pseudo force, that we can say false force is introduced. If a particle revolving in a circular orbit, there it is to be one force is acting towards the center. Therefore, there is another force also act away from the center. It is a false which we can call centrifugal. Centrifugal is nothing but it is balanced by the centripetal force. That's what. Centripetal and centrifugals are balanced. That's what. Here we can take all these expressions equal to centrifugal. Any particle, if revolving in a circular orbit or it is rotating in the circular path, there it is to be what happens? Centripetal and centrifugal forces are balances. If they balances only, the particle is completes the circular loop or circular path. That's what here in the previous also we discussed in the vertical circular motion. It is completing the loop in the sense is what? There it is to be centripetal and centrifugal forces are balances. Here the centrifugal is nothing but it is no doubt it is a pseudo force. It is to be introduced by the centripetal force only. If it is introduced, therefore the particle is complete the circular path. So this related to what? Centripetal and centrifugal, and centripetal acceleration and centripetal force and centrifugal forces. Suppose you refer this all in the previous chapter, which we finished in the circular motion. That's what every time I am telling you, circular motion is there in the motion in a plane. That chapter you refer thoroughly, then in this rotational motion, this all will come again and again. If you know this all statements, therefore we can do, here is the better. Otherwise we cannot do problems, because we have on the basis of this centripetal, centrifugal, angular acceleration, angular velocity, we have number of problems are there. Number of problems are there. That's what once you refer this all statements, if you refer this today only, then we'll do the problems in the next class. In the next class, we'll do the problems on the basis of this angular velocity, angular acceleration, and equations of motions, centripetal force, centrifugal forces, right? So this is the about today's class, and we'll see in the next class. Thank you very much.